All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, September the 6th, 2018, and after some more shenanigans with Discord, and after looking at my OBS shenanigans with Twitch, which I'm going to be honest with you guys watching live, I just don't care. I don't have the patience for it today. Twitch is a multi-billion-dollar company with arguably the shittiest servers to have ever fucking existed, and this is now a multi-month long process that they have been making us put up with as streamers. I could stream at 4 kbs, and it will randomly drop entirely. Doesn't matter. I just saw it go all the way down to 196. Go fuck yourself.
The struggle.
It's another Technical Alpha podcast this week. We've got a smattering of things to discuss. It's been actually not like a terrible news week, depending on how you look at it. But before we get to the news, Mr. Black, how has your week been? How has StarCraft been treating you? Do you still like the game?
It's a love-hate relationship we have. You know,
Okay.
it's like that ex-girlfriend that you occasionally just you shack up with just because you're too lazy to go out and find something else, and it's too easy and familiar, and it's a long lost love, and you just find yourself going back for more punishment. Nothing good ever comes out of it. That's like StarCraft. That's StarCraft to me.
Great. Well, at least it's not a hate relationship yet.
It's not a hate, but
No.
it's more like a like-hate relationship, not really a love and hate. So yeah, we'll go with like-hate relationship.
Next week we'll find out if it's a tolerate and hate, and then maybe we'll eventually get straight to the hate.
Yeah, why not?
It's the downslide. My week was it was another week. It was another week of slow web development for the website. It's just painfully slow, but like just it is what it is. I've grown to accept it now. I've thrown all timelines out the window. No more timelines. I'm working on it every waking moment that I have an opportunity. And then when Nikki is available for joint operations to make things happen that I don't have the skills to. And then other than that, I just don't care. Because apparently trying to put a timeline on it doesn't mean anything. Today I woke up and I went to go do some stuff after I'd done some updates yesterday and everything was working fine. I turned shit on and everything's just busted. So I don't even know what could have happened in the last 24 hours, but here we are. So this week has been another one of those, and I'm greatly looking forward to my short, 3-day vacation that's coming up tomorrow. Getting away for a few days, getting away from all of these electronics.
Yes.
And hopefully I can forget they exist for at least 24 of the 72 hours that I'm away. And then I played. Oh, the other update is I played. We were talking about that 2K19.
Yes, the golf
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched you play that last night.
Don't buy that game. At least not in its current state. So the game itself has it's not the worst golf game I've ever played. I'll preface this whole discussion with that. It's not the worst golf game I've ever played. However, that doesn't actually mean that you should spend as much money as they're asking for this game. It's first of all, it's done in Unity, which is I'm done with Unity. I want people to stop using Unity. Just use some other engine, because I have not played more than maybe 3 games that have been made in Unity that are actually good. Because the Unity as an engine just gets it's like people don't have a lot of money, I guess, so they go with Unity. And then they make Unity want to do things that Unity has absolutely no right trying to do as a gaming engine. And then you end up with these games where you're like, this game would be really good if it didn't run like dog shit. And that's basically what comes down to it. You turn it on, and you know how like it goes through all of the logos of all the various like Speed Tree and like all the developers thing comes up, and then all of a sudden you see Unity, and then I go fuck, it's another Unity game, and so I get in and I'm playing it, and I have to say that while it does have promise in that I enjoy that they're going closer to the simulation than the arcade feel, because there's lots of arcade style golf games. There's not that many that err closer to the side of the simulation. And the PGA Tour series with EA has gotten more and more arcadey as time has gone on. I'm sure there are people who have figured out how to hit consistently straight with the system that they have in the game. If you can, you're an absolute god. You're an absolute fucking god. So it's the same system that we grew up on, analog stick wise with PGA Tour. You know, pull the stick back, push it forward, and you know you have some leniency with how far left or right when you're pulling back and pushing forward before your shot starts to go to shit. Right? Essentially, you're trying to get straight back, straight forward, and the problem that you run into with this game is that they're going for simulation. So it's like they thought that simulation, because it's not that it doesn't do anything else differently necessarily from like Tiger Woods games in the past, where you know you can shape your shot. Like let's say you want to add a little loft, or let's say you want to slice it, or you want to draw it or something. Like you want to shape a shot. All that shit is nothing new. But when they sat down and said, we want to make it more of a simulation game, and somebody said, what if we just make the dead zones on the analog stick non-fucking existent? What if we took a horsefly's breath from across the room, and when it touches the analog stick, that registers as a movement in the game? What if we did that? And somebody said, fuck yeah, that sounds exactly like you're swinging a real golf club. We should totally do that. It's like if anything, tiny little movement happens, your shot can change. That sounds so neato. And then in practice, it's terrible. It's absolutely fucking awful. Because depending on how you're shaping your shot, they have a bar that gets thinner. And that bar is the determiner of when you're pulling your analog stick forward and backwards. If you go outside of that bar, when your shot goes to shit. Right? So if you're doing a regular shot and you're not like in a bunker or in some crazy, you know, up to your knees in rough or something, the bar is relatively hefty. But then you start to do things like, maybe I want to stick it on the green, so I want to increase my loft to get underneath the ball. The bar gets pretty friggin' thin, so you have to be pretty accurate with your shots. And I tried my 360 controller, and then after like 2 hours of that, I could not get it consistent. No matter how I held the stick, I started staring at it. I started looking at it and using like the 2 fingers and thumb method. I had my 1 thumb method. I was doing everything I could possibly fucking come up with to try and make this shit work. And I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go get my $6,000 Xbox Pro controller. So I went and got that, and it comes with like different sticks and whatnot. And the analog sticks on the Pro Controller are so much smoother and so much more precise than the 360 controller. It was like, this has to be the answer to my problems. Plug it in. I have the long sticks to start, which usually mean you're more accurate. The long sticks give you more control over it.
Long sticks.
After a couple of shots, it was kind of good. I was like, oh, okay, we got it. That was awful. That was a fluke. Bullshit. Absolute fluke. And like 4 more shots later, it was just all over the place again. Couldn't get consistent shots to save my fucking life. Changed the stick out to a shorter stick. Same thing. All crap. Couldn't get a consistent shot going. The wind. And then to add on to this, some more, the game just doesn't allow you to make any sense of environmental effects. So you're shooting into let's say you're shooting into a green, and the best the game gives you, you remember in Tiger Woods it would show you like your shot arc, so you have like some rough idea if you hit the ball maximum power where your ball is going to land. So they have their version of that is no arc. It's just a circle of varying sizes based on your club that you choose. That's on wherever you're aiming. And that's always at 100%. You can't move it forward and back to get an idea. You just see 100%, and then you just guess at the shit.
Mm.
It will tell you, let's say you're on the fairway, you're shooting 100% of your shot, it's just past the hole. You could account for fucking everything and hit it 95%, it'll land 500 feet fucking short. You hit it 100%, wherever that circle was, it's like 60 yards past the fucking circle. There's no like
So what you're
middle
saying
ground.
is the game's a gong show.
It is a gong show, yes. And then on
All
the
right.
greens, it's even worse because the difference between a 4-foot putt and a 16-foot putt is 1/1000th of a millisecond of drawback time on the analog stick. It's bad. Don't play it in its current state. There are people who've been championing this shit. Don't do it. They're sadists. Don't fucking do it. Don't buy the game. Wait, maybe they patch it and make it better. But oh my God, have mercy on my soul. It's a painful experience. So other than that, that was pretty much my week. I'm looking forward to my vacation, that's for sure. I started looking into our equipment stuff so that we can avoid all of this software shenanigans and get into the same room. And I didn't get a chance this week, but when I get back, I think we're going to take a run into Long and McQuaid and start placing some orders and get the
Spend
ball.
some of that dirty money.
Spend some of
that Patreon cash.
Dirty Patreon cash and buy some stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk about some games, Jeff, other than golf.
Yes, please.
Let's talk about some games other than golf. Well, first let's talk about like a bit of a side, what is games technically speaking. Japan's had a really rough week. I don't know if you've been catching any of this on social media, but first they got hit with like a typhoon, and then they got hit with like an earthquake or something in different parts of the country. Just having a bad. Mother Nature is taking it all of her fury out on poor old Japan. And during the typhoon, the Nintendo building lost the N. N just got stripped right off the Nintendo building. So while this was all happening, it was bad enough. Along with the other nonsense of basically the Earth trying to put Japan at the bottom of the ocean. There were some leaks that surfaced about stuff that was supposed to be possibly talked about on their Nintendo Direct this week. You know how they do those little live show thingies? Yes. That's not really a live show, but they like play it live. It's like a recorded video. So this was what somebody managed to pull. Some of this stuff sounds like it's out there in left field. Some of it sounds reasonable as to whether or not there's any validity. We'll obviously know once they do the Direct, but they haven't done the Direct as of yet. So we can just list off some of this stuff, and then I want to get your quick first reactions, 1 or 2 words to all the stuff that I'm about to list off. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, this is all for the Switch, of course. Okay. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Fuck off.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC Pack 1.
Fuck off.
Metroid Prime 4 Alteration.
Don't care.
Animal Crossing Town Founder.
Don't care.
New Super Mario Bros. Collection.
Is that like all of the old Smash Bros?
Well, didn't they? No, Super Mario Bros.
Oh, Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
So like
maybe all the ones where they had new in front of the Super Mario Brothers
because
they're
Wii and shit. Yeah, like,
maybe that.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Paper Mario Clay Catastrophe. That sounds like a new Paper Mario game.
It does. I mean, interesting. I mean, for the Switch, sure.
Overwatch.
No.
Lego The Legend of Zelda.
Okay. I mean, I like The Legend of Zelda.
And the Lego games are actually, I mean, I don't play them on the regular,
games aren't bad.
But they're actually good games in general. Kirby Warriors.
Nah, I'm good.
Yoshi's Crafted World.
I don't know if that's an actual Yoshi game or if it's some sort of kiddie, like just using the Yoshi name as a way to sell games.
Well,
but if it's like another Yoshi game, then cool. Yeah,
I think, remember they had like 1 or 2 E3s ago, they announced that there was another Yoshi's game coming, but they didn't have a title for it.
That's probably it.
People are assuming that that's what this is. And
Mhm.
Crafted World, they did the Woolly World thing, so they're not sure if they're gonna go with like the cardboard stuff mixed in with the Yoshi game, or if Crafted World just means maybe they're gonna do like a paper Yoshi type
Okay.
situation. Would be my two guesses as to what's going on there, if that is a thing.
I'm all right with that.
Mario, Sonic, and Pac-Man at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games.
No. Stop the madness.
Ice Climbers Party, Break the Ice.
No thanks.
Rhythm Heaven and Rhythm
No.
Hell.
No, I'll stop you right there.
Nintendo World.
Don't know what that is. Don't care.
WarioWare Fart Mania. That isn't.
That actually sound. That's got to be. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The WarioWare games are actually really good, but Fart Mania,
Mania?
what the fuck? That better not actually be it. This better be a troll.
This better
I
be a
hope
troll.
it is. Punch Out with 2 exclamation points. A new challenger with another exclamation point.
Ooh. So who's the new challenger? Logan Paul? KSI?
Pikmin 4.
I've never played them, so I can't.
If
really say
Pikmin
much.
4 gets announced, my better half is literally going to have an aneurysm out of sheer excitement. Luigi's Mansion Pop.
I fucks with Luigi's Mansion. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite Nintendo games ever.
I don't know what the pop would be referencing. Bubbles, perhaps, in some way, shape, or form. But Luigi's Mansion, yeah, we sat down and beat that game in one sitting
Yeah,
when we got that originally.
it's a fun game.
Pokemon Elite Diamond and Elusive Pearl.
More Pokemon.
It's more
Yay.
Pokemon. And Switchmo, in brackets, Pushmo 5. I don't know what either of those things are supposed to mean.
Neither do I.
Not a clue. I'm laughing a lot internally about the thought of Battlegrounds, like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG, trying to run on a Switch. I'm trying to absorb that. Maybe if they took the mobile version that Tencent made and put that on the Switch, that would run fine.
Yeah.
But there's no way in hell you're getting PUBG, regular ass PUBG running. And why? Who is gonna buy and play PUBG on the Switch?
No one.
Nobody.
They're all playing Fortnite. Sorry.
Not a chance. My God. But yeah, so they're your possible leaks for whatever
Interesting.
that is, and we'll find out when they do the direct. It's not like it's gonna be a long time. It's probably gonna be like a week or less, I would imagine. Excuse me. Next up. THQ Nordic, who we have been talking about more and more every week because they are just on fire with their pickups and the games they've got in the pipeline. They acquired Kingdoms of Amalur, the intellectual property, who's I think that was originally owned by Electronic Arts, and it was kind of it wasn't a poorly received game. It was it kind of flew under the radar. Like if you look it up, like if you give it a little look-see, it was actually a pretty good game.
Oh yeah.
But
I have this on the PS3. I've never played it.
Yeah,
It looks like a God of War almost. Like a God of War clone.
Yeah, like it's not apparently like the worst game in the world. And it seemed like it had some promise. It just didn't, get all the love it needed. And so maybe THQ Nordic is the publisher to make that happen. They've just been snapping up stuff left, right, and center. They remind me of like when you do like the like a new expansion team in the NHL, and the expansion team just gets to randomly pick a bunch of like people from every team, and it's usually like pretty good players, but they're not getting paid $50 billion a year, and they kind of get all that, like that's, and then they turn out to be like this team that's amazing, kind of like what happened with Las Vegas just recently. It reminds me of that. THQ's out there just nabbing up these like mediocre to above mediocre titles that have like a pretty good concept, a reasonably recognizable name, and I think they're gonna make a push with this stuff, and hopefully they do well because they're making some big plays. Spiderman selling very well. No surprise there. There was a lot of buzz around the game leading up to this, so I'm not surprised about it. I am surprised that it's selling out in places though, and that has been happening. There was a little kerfuffle, kerfuffle about what people are calling. And I hate when people put "gate" at the end of everything, but it was Puddlegate, Jeff. It's Puddlegate.
Puddlegate.
All right.
What exactly is Puddlegate?
Okay.
Adam?
Remember when I don't know how much you remember of the E3 demo that they showed when we originally saw the Spider-Man game, but there's a part where he's in a high-rise building that's under construction, and it's when we first see combat, like the very first time. And there's an over-the-shoulder shot where he's looking out into the floor of the building that he's on with the bad guys, and there's like a big puddle on the ground. Just water. Just some puddle. There's just a puddle there. And in the original E3 demo that they showed, the lighting model and the contrast and whatnot, and a couple of like material properties that changed how certain materials reflected or refracted light, all wildly different in. Well, I won't say wildly different, but they're all different enough that people picked up on it to make it the new hill to die on about publishers overselling graphics during E3 and then under-delivering at launch.
Yeah.
Because in the release version, and there's a side-by-side video thing you can watch on IGN, you can see this, and there's even like a still picture of the two, and there's almost no puddle in the real release of the game versus the other one, where there's all this fancy light coming off the water and all the shit. And I watched the comparison video between the two versions of the game. Holy shit. Even for me, I mean, it's like I'm an asshole when it comes to this stuff. There is really not that much difference going on here. They obviously changed the lighting model a bit. That's definitely a thing. They turned the contrast on shit like through the fucking roof. Usually to make up for the fact that your lighting model is not as detailed. If you turn stuff up and make it really colorful and contrasty, shadows get crushed. So instead of having like, a building that's casting a box casting a shadow on a rooftop, and you can kind of see the concrete detail in the shadow in the E3 demo.
We weren't getting that here.
In the new game, in the actual game, it's like the box casting a shadow, but the shadow is like pitch black, and you ain't seeing shit through the shadow. That's the kind of difference. In the grand scheme of things, when you're watching the game in full motion, if you didn't have a side by side, you ain't fucking noticing anything. None of it. It still looks so good, and it was running smooth as fuck. Like it looked great. It sounded great. It was kind of cool to see how like the main bad guy from that trailer, how they evolved the character. Like it's pretty dramatic. In the E3 demo, the dude was like straight up fucking a Sith Lord with lightning out of his hands. Remember that shit? He's in the helicopter. Yeah. In the real game, dude's got a mask on, you can't see his face, and he uses a rocket launcher. It's like fucking 180. It's not even close to the same shit. Somebody internally was like, "Oh, this is way too Palpatine. We need to dial that back a bit. Let's just give him a rocket launcher instead."
Yeah, it's more believable.
Yeah, it's more believable. It's just a rocket launcher. But that was really it. But people did kick up about that. But I don't think it's amounting to anything. And I think it's also some of the news, publications reaching desperately for something. But it worked because it was everywhere. Like it was new people were talking about it everywhere. Excuse me. However, it doesn't seem to be bothering sales because it's crushing it. And it doesn't seem to be bothering reviews because it also seems to be getting well received. So, not that
I watched a couple reviews last night actually, and one guy gave it like a B+. Another guy gave it like a 9 out of 10. It's like, it's just a solid game. Some of the story is weak apparently, but like the gameplay and stuff is super fun. And it didn't let anybody down for the most part from what I'm seeing. So, I mean, I'm not going to play it, but
well, no, neither am I, but people have asked me to play it.
Coming off like Avengers and shit too, like
It's a hot time for it.
It's a hot time. It's a hot time. And then there's also like people thinking that there might have been some clues as to what happens to Spider-Man or whatever. So like some people are just like interested to buy it just to see if there's any, hints or Easter eggs or something like that, right? So
yeah, of course. Yeah, no, my options were if I was gonna play anything to eventually review when the site's done when I'm old and dead, was between Spider-Man and the new Tomb Raider game, and I chose Tomb Raider.
Good choice.
Over top of that.
I
mean, honestly, the Spider-Man game could turn out to be a technically better game than Tomb Raider, but I'm just not a Spider-Man guy, so
yeah.
It just doesn't appeal to me all that much. But good for them. They seem to do a good job with it. It's pretty rare to get a movie-related game or even a superhero-related game that isn't crap. So, thumbs up for another good Spider-Man game, of which there are many. There's actually like old-school Spider-Man games. There were a couple of really good Spider-Man games. There was also some really bad ones, but they're actually Spider-Man had some of the first really good like movie tie-in or like superhero tie-in games. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this one affects everyone. Absolutely everyone, and not in a fun way. So we all know that unfortunately the United States of America is currently being led by a sentient orange that enjoys the tanning salon. And that's unfortunate. However, what's more unfortunate is that he's sticking his hand in every damn cookie jar that he could possibly get his hand in. But he's leaving like shit nuggets behind. He's not just taking cookies, he's leaving a trail of shit everywhere. So his latest shenanigans, as you've probably heard about, the biggest one being the steel tariffs, that's all fine and good, and that's a huge market to be dumpstering. But for those of us that want a few less degrees of separation before we get angry about something, let me bring it a little closer to home. Remember all those computer parts you were hoping to buy into for like the next, 5 years? You're fucked. Everyone's fucked. Especially if you're outside of the States, it's probably even worse. So in old Donny Boy's attempt to have everything and anything be as created, manufactured, whatever in the States as humanly possible, he is slapping tariffs on anything that walks, breathes, or doesn't. And that includes the electronics. And just specifically to talk about this part, let's talk about motherboards, graphics cards, power supplies, RAM, you name it, of most third-party companies, especially those based in the States. The problems that you're going to run into here is that the tariffs are going to increase prices between 15 and 30%.
Rip.
When you start talking about graphics cards and shit, you start tacking 15 to 30% on top of a graphics card. That you're talking the difference
you
of
stop buying graphics cards.
You stop.
you stop buying.
You start buying consoles again, basically.
Yes.
But even that shit's probably going to go up in cost, unfortunately.
It's electronic.
It is. So that's pretty shit. The one of the crazier parts about this that I read about though is that Amazon, old Jeff Bezos up there trying to be a power player, said, look guys, I know this is coming, but tough shit, you're not allowed to change your prices by 15 to 30% because of this stuff. And so these companies are going to have one of two choices: get fucked, or get slightly less fucked by basically taking down every SKU that they currently have on Amazon that they want to raise the prices on, re-SKU them, totally different SKU numbers, everything else, put them back up through Amazon yet again to place them up so that they can increase the prices on all this shit as like maybe a workaround. And maybe they even block them on that, I don't know. But the really shitty part about this for like these manufacturers is that the margin on a graphics card or the margin on a motherboard or a power supply, most of the stuff is like 5 to 10% is the margin. So you start slapping tariffs on shit that's raising the price to keep that margin in check to 15 to 30%. That's no joke. That could actually put some companies
Under.
Under.
Yes. Legit.
Not only is it going to put your dreams of being able to run games above 1080p before you're old and gray, but it can also pretty much wreck some of these companies. And this is apparently going into effect. Oh, today! It was the 6th, I believe. So sometime around today, get wrecked.
Awesome.
That
you
or
bought
just,
your graphics cards yesterday.
I hope you pre-ordered that 2080 Ti now, because otherwise you're going to be in for a bit of a shock. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, and that's the other downside, is that the GPU prices just started dropping after the cryptocurrency mining wave that ran the prices of GPUs through the roof and made them you couldn't even if you had the money, you couldn't find one. And now within a month window of that finally backing off, and the 10 series cards getting a $200 drop because the 20 series got announced, everything's going back up again.
Whee! Have fun.
So yeah, my suggestion, if you have a computer right now that does anything even remotely well, treat it like your firstborn child. Make sure that thing gets all of the cool air it needs. If you're overclocking, turn that shit off. Keep your shit alive for as long as humanly possible. Because unless you plan on ponying up for a new build, somewhere between $150 to $300+ for a mid-range PC, you're going to be holding on to that bad boy for dear life. So there you have it. So shout outs to Agent Orange for bringing it home for all of us. Sony Japan. Jeff, when's the last time that you played a PlayStation 2 game?
About 9 months ago.
Oh, right, because you played...
playing Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, that's right. That's right. My joke has died, but that's okay.
Dead. Yeah, it was okay.
I've got another one. My joke has died, but so did the PS2. Because in Japan... Apparently, Sony in Japan, I guess only Japan, I haven't heard of this definitely anywhere else, has been still providing servicing for PlayStation 2 until today. So, if you had problems or whatever, you could still get service through Sony Japan. And they've just announced that they are finally letting that dream die. The console hasn't been in production since 2012, but they were still providing service up until this point. So I guess good on Sony Japan for doing that for so long, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I mean, who's getting their PS2 serviced from Sony in 2018?
Knowing Japan, probably a reasonable number of people. I have to imagine. I mean, it's not millions of people.
I mean, you could just buy another one for a few dollars and call it a day.
Yeah.
And it's not like you got extended warranty for 15 years. You're going to be paying a fair amount of money probably to get the shit fixed. So who knows? But anyway, I mean, tough Japan, I guess. Womp womp. You can't get your PS2s fixed anymore. Jesus
womp
Christ.
Womp
Womp.
But they did it. I got to give props for doing it for 6 years.
I suppose, yes.
Post-production shot. There's just having the option, I think, is something to praise them for, at least a little bit.
It's kind of like taking your fucking, I don't know, your 1982 Honda to Honda and being like, yo, I really need a right axle for this car. And then they go, you know what? I'm sorry, but we no longer hold parts for this vehicle.
Just last week, they cut us off.
Last week, it's ogre. It's all over now. So, yeah, sure, it might suck for the 10 people out there that this affects.
Yeah.
But I think for the vast majority of people.
Oh, it's whatever.
Yeah,
you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. Yeah. Yeah. That's that just reminded me the people who are still driving around in 1986 Toyota Camrys.
Yes.
Because 80% of them or whatever are still on the road today. Just some stupid statistic. until you take them into
They just
Toyota.
don't break down.
Yeah, and the mechanics are like, "Oh, time to rotate the tires." That's like the only thing that's wrong with them. 40 years later. Oh, here we go. So I think we talked about, maybe we didn't, but I feel like we did. Old Gabe Newell, Gaby boy, of Valve fame, did a voice pack for Dota 2. And this was like 1 or 2 weeks ago that they announced this stuff. And in the voice pack, there is a clip where he makes direct reference to the joke about Gabe not being able to say or write the number 3 because of the Half-Life 3 joke that's been around since, I don't know, the dawn of the internet at this point. So he made that joke. People laughed about it a bit. They were also a little salty because it was like direct confirmation that Gabe just doesn't give a fuck. Not that we needed confirmation, we all knew. But in a follow-up interview here with one of Valve's employees, they were talking about how Valve is very much aware of all of the jokes that the internet has created about Valve, about Half-Life 3, about their making games or lack thereof, about their swimming in piles of gold and riches and doing dick all for like the last decade plus. They're all aware of all of these jokes. And then they tried to explain away as best they could why they haven't been making games for like the last however fuck like 15 years or whatever. And it was a bad attempt. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, look, I get it. You didn't want to make Half-Life 3. Just say you didn't want to make Half-Life 3. Don't try and make it more complicated. They were talking about how, people don't know what it's like at Valve. We don't really have bosses. Everyone's just kind of free to do as, they work on projects as they want to. And it got to the point where people didn't want to make big blockbuster games, but apparently they wanted to make a VR headset. So it went on this big explanation to try and explain why it was the case. And it was all bullshit. It was absolute bullshit.
Why don't they just come out and just say, listen, guys, we're going to be one of the few companies out there that created some fire titles and didn't overextend on them. Just made great games and walked away. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's all I want to hear. Because the more
there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
There's nothing wrong. Like, it's disappointing that you can't play more, but you also got to appreciate the fact you had some fire.
Yeah.
And they don't want to ruin what they had. And there's a high expectation. And they're just moving on to other projects or whatever the fuck they want. They are swimming in money. They don't give a fuck anymore. Fuck, they run Steam, for Christ's sake. The amount of cash that these guys have, what do they have to prove? They have nothing to prove to anybody anymore. That's the show. It's like, you get what you get. Like, hey, we made some fire. We made some money. People love the games. We're going to keep it like they love the games. Left 4 Dead, we're leaving it. It's Left 4 Dead. We're fucking Half-Life, we're leaving it. Team Fortress, we're leaving it. That's the show. And now they got what? Artifact coming?
Yes, Artifact is like their first honest to God game, I think, since forever.
A long time. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's so they're aware. I thought it was quite funny. Read the article. I saw the excuses. It is what it is. They don't want to make it. That's fine. They're coming out with Artifact. It's another way for them to leverage the Steam platform. It's absolutely genius. They're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars off of this shit. And
when does that come out anyway?
That's actually not that. That's this year. That's like it might be November.
Damn, I'm gonna play that.
So am I. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the card art and I don't like the game board, but I'm gonna play it anyway because I would like to have another card game to play because Hearthstone is absolute crap. It's just it's RNG gamified bullshit.
I'll give it a good college try, and I'm sure everybody and their dog is going to play the game, and we'll see. Hopefully they have a marketplace for it, for the cards and shit. That's going to be the big thing for me, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not a huge card guy, but I do enjoy a good card game. It's one of those genres that, like, if done very right, and it can speak to me, and it's competitive, and it's not just stupid, like, endless RNG, it might get me hooked. Or it could just be like, oh, that's okay. Move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I
We'll see.
I just want them to just admit it. Just say it. Man up. Sack up. Just admit it. Just say, guys, we made filthy fucking money off of your ass, and we don't give a shit. If we come out with Half-Life 3, it's never going to live up to your expectations, and we know that, so we're not going to bother fucking trying and spending 6 years of our lives producing this game. Half of the friggin' cast is probably dead by now anyway, as far as the voice acting goes. I wouldn't even be surprised. And so I just admit the shit. Just come out and say it. Battlefield 5. So we got scant details about the Battle Royale mode, Mr. Black.
I heard, yes. I watched the little video they had.
It's called Firestorm. It's not a lightning storm. It's a firestorm.
That's how the circle comes in. It's
exactly.
A firestorm.
Exactly. Over under on them utilizing Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire for at least one promotional video.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's a good song.
Just on the nose song. Fuck it. Just use it. Why not? 64 players in this bad boy, which I think is good. I think 64 players is more than enough. Especially given the size of the map and the fact that there are vehicles and stuff involved too. Broken up into 16 teams of 4. That's great. I think that squad stuff is always better in these types of games anyway, because it's so much harder to, be the hide in a bathroom with a shotgun type dude, especially when you can blow the building to pieces in Battlefield. But yeah, squad, 16 teams of 4. As what they're currently describing as a sandbox filled with destructible buildings, weapons, and vehicles, which sounds exactly what everyone would want a battle royale to be in Battlefield. This is the weird part, and I want to give a quick shout out to, I want to say it was Exceed that pointed this out to me just before the podcast, actually. They said, hey, do you want to check this out? And I clicked on it, and it takes you to the page to the pre-order for the game. And apparently the standard edition doesn't actually come with the Battle Royale mode. The only way, and that edition is $79.99. The only editions that you can get access, according to their website right now, get access to Firestorm and Johnny Cash's classic hit, Ring of Fire, is through the deluxe $100 edition, or you're paying $14.99 for Origin's Premier service, which is where you can play like a whole bunch of their games or whatever if you're paying $15 a month. Those two are the only ways currently listed that you can play the Firestorm Battle Royale mode. They have gated the Battle Royale mode to premium services.
So you're telling me you need to spend $15 a month or pay an extra $30
to get access to this mode? Yes. Those are your options. To get access to a multiplayer mode. That is a glorified deathmatch, given what Battlefield already consists of.
Fucking insane, man.
How
that's not even like
how greedy is that?
I want to be mad. I want to be mad, but I don't even know I have the energy to start yelling profanity at EA. That's absolutely one of the most ridiculous fucking things I've ever heard in my life. You made a game. You put the game up there. And now you're expecting the consumer, the person that is looking forward to playing and trying out your version of Battle Royale, you're going to charge them an extra $30 a month or con them into spending $15 a month on their Origin Premier bullshit package. That's where we're going with this. It's insane.
Think about that for a second. The biggest player in the space is Fortnite.
Yeah.
How many dollars does it cost to play Fortnite?
None. 0.
And as a more direct competitor, PUBG is roughly plus or minus, I don't know, $9. The cost of upgrading the $80 standard edition to the $100 deluxe edition. Apparently this was a mistake. I just looked at it on the website. If that's a mistake, somebody is going to get fired 3 times.
Somebody is going to get fired hard. Somebody's going to get fired. I'm going to rejoin this call because you're chopping up like crazy.
Okay. Welcome back.
All right, there we go. I can hear you again. That's
so,
weird, man, your webcam is like super choppy.
Are you still on wireless on your fucking tower?
No,
right now?
I am direct. I am direct.
Then that's weird. You're fine here. Like I can see you fine, and I can hear you fine.
That's fine. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So apparently, let's see. Oh, hijacking the top comment to ensure that this message is seen by as many as possible. We've made a pretty stupid mistake in our table there, and the web team is working to correct this immediately. Thanks for flagging this. Firestorm will be available in all editions of the game. We are not restricting this from the standard edition. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
God is right. Thank you, Jesus.
You know what? The cynical asshole in me wants to believe that wasn't a mistake, but they saw how many people were losing their shit already and just decided to, as quickly as possible, back out of that. Like really, how of all of the stuff in that list that could have got fucked up for what's available between editions, how is that one? It's too perfect. It's like that. It's just too perfect. It's either that or there was an employee that just wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. I don't fucking know. But like I just, with all the shit EA's done the last couple of years with games, it wouldn't shock me if that was the route that they took. Like that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
All the things in that list. But anyway, apparently,
all right. Well, there you go.
This just in.
There.
They're not gating it. You can play it in every $5 million version of the game that you want to play it.
Man, somebody is getting fired for sure.
Oh,
somebody's losing their job. Flat out.
Yes. They're already boxing their shit up. It's the end of the workday, but they're going to come back to the office. It's going to be outside in like the rain in a box. Absolutely. Yeah, it was 100. Yeah, it is 100% believable that that's what happened, and that's bad. Like for EA, that's worse. So like that's the catch-22 for EA right now is even if it was a mistake, very few people are going to believe that was a mistake.
No, exactly. Like people, like EA is such a joke that people are going to be like, oh, they fucked us again.
Yeah,
they fucked
exactly.
us again.
Yeah, that's going to be some major PR. It's a firestorm control. It's a PR firestorm. They got to get on top of that. Send in the troops. But yeah, there you go. Can I just mention that I really hate how expensive video games are these days?
They are expensive.
Like the stuff that used to just come with games now, like has become. They strip out a couple of things that maybe aren't important to 70% of the people that play the game, and then they make a deluxe edition and charge $20 more for the other 30%. And you're sitting there going, I just want to play your full fucking game that you've spent 4 years making. Like, is that so much to ask? Like, can I just, I don't want to have like $100 for a game is a lot to ask. Like you have to understand. I don't fucking care how much money it costs you to make that game. If that's the case, reduce the fucking scope of your video game because $100 is a shitload of money.
It's a lot.
That is 1/4 of the cost of the fucking console that you're playing the game on.
Yep.
1/4 of the cost of the box full of the machine parts that make your game go zing, zing, bang, boom. That is the fucking cost of games. That's insane.
Yep.
Get your shit together. Goddamn. Like, what? Like, and it's obviously because people are buying it, but it's just fucking stop it.
It's only going to get worse, man.
Stop.
There is going to come a time, and we're going to remember this. It's going to happen, and we're going to talk about it on the podcast. There's going to come a time where video games are now going to be like $104.99 or $112.99 or $108.99.
It'll be $99.99
It'll be $9.99, but then you play it, you get a deluxe
for the
or
standard.
like
then it's $129.99.
I guarantee you, we're gonna get it. Won't go that far. You'll be like halfway. You'll get into like the fucking $106.99, $108.99, $112.99.
Because how far can they push that in relation to how much the console costs before even the layperson goes, wait a minute, if I do the math, I just paid half as much for this fucking as this game is for my console.
Yes. It's going to be the whole computer printer ordeal where you buy a printer for $80,
throw it all out.
Then you go to the to Staples or Walmart or wherever, and you're like, I'm going to go pick up some ink for this bad boy. And you look at the ink, and the ink is literally $70 or $80. And then you're going,
is the printer.
You're going, okay, so I have two options here. I can just buy this little fucking tiny cartridge of ink for the same price as a printer or $10 less. Or I cannot buy this, not go home, open up my old printer, take it out, possibly get ink on my shirt, fuck around, try and figure out how it's working. Or I could just buy a brand new printer, throw the other one in the garbage, and plug that in and play and go. That's where we're going with video games. Where you're going to start to go, what in the sweet tits? I am not paying $108 for a video game. I'm just not doing it. I just refuse.
It'll be all sales all the time. I'll be playing games 2 years after they come out.
Yes.
I'll be playing them retroactively because I already like unless I know I'm going to get like 400 hours out of a game. If you think I'm going to spend $100 on a game, you're insane.
I am fucking nerd rich, and I will not spend $100 on a fucking video game.
No.
It's just not happening. I fucking hate it, dude. People are like, yo, why don't you try with this game, Jeff? Dude, it's 60, 80, 90, $100. No, I'm not. I'm going to fucking play it for 4 hours, 6 hours. I'm not doing it.
4 to 6 hours.
I'm not fucking doing it.
$100.
It's not happening.
Stop it.
It's just not. It just doesn't make sense. If games were like $60 all the time and there was something I really, really wanted, sure, I'll spend the $60. But when you're talking in Canadian dollars, like you literally go to EB or Walmart and you buy a game, it's in the 90s of dollars. Like it's just under, it's just shy of $100.
There are like the AAA $79.99 or like I've seen $89.99.
It's just insanity, dude.
Why?
It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. And it is going to come to the point where people are going to wait for shit to go on sale, or people are going to buy like 2 video games a year, and that's the show. Like, that is the show. Like, either that or the free-to-play market's just going to get even bigger because people are going to go, well, I literally can't afford to play video games. And the funny thing about it is, even free-to-play, you end up spending even more money in free-to-play games than what you do buying the damn game, but at least it's masked in a way.
You don't notice that you're doing it.
Yeah, you're not forking up $100 at once. You might spend $15 for this little DLC thing, or $15 for this skin package, or $10 here, or $5 here. And over the span of you playing the game for a year or two, you've spent, a couple $100. But at least it isn't just coming. It's like getting your paycheck and you're like, okay, I've got my phone bill. All right, that's $60. All right, I've got, and that's lucky if you live in fucking if you live in
$60
Canada.
phone bill is fire.
If you live in Canada, it's like, all right, there's $150.
Yeah.
All right. I need food. I need shelter. I have car, gas, insurance. Okay, now I've got $110 left to my name after this paycheck. Do I go and buy such and such game for $98, which will leave me with approximately like $8 to my goddamn name? That's the show. At least if you get them free to play, you're going, you know what? I can afford to spend $15 this week or this month, and I can afford this. And let's not forget, we're spending money a month on Origin memberships and Xbox memberships or PlayStation memberships and Netflix memberships and Disney show memberships and this
Death
their
by
membership
1,000 cuts
and Twitch fucking subscription memberships, and everything costs endless amounts of money. And the fact that they have the balls to come out and charge you $100 up front, and that's up front because these
this is a
cuts,
season pass.
these cuts will come out with more shit. The $100 is just getting you in the door.
Yeah.
It's just getting you in the door. But when you get in the door, it's like, look at my wares. Come on in. I've got.
Let me show you all of my stuff.
Let me show you
My
where you
fine
can waste more money.
wares.
It's just crazy, dude. It's
Mind
just,
the
it's
penis.
nuts. I rarely buy video games, man. I think in the last 3 years in new releases, I have maybe spent $300. That's it. So I'm saying on average $100 a year on video games.
Shit's wild, dude.
That and that's all that's just from new releases for me. And I don't buy games. Like, imagine the people, because I just play like the same few games over and over and over. That's the show. Imagine like hardcore gamers that don't do this for a living or that just love playing new releases, like love playing games. How do you afford it?
I can write some of this stuff off, and I do this shit with reviews and stuff, and I still want to fucking shoot myself every time I buy a game.
It's crazy.
Like I actually considered doing like, if it wasn't for the fact that it would basically just make this website that I'm building almost useless, because how many people are looking for reviews of older games? I actually considered sitting down and be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna do reviews of older games and show how they hold up today. We'll see which games that were considered really good back in the day, and I'll review them in the year of our Lord 2018 and see how they hold up. And I did that with platformers, and I called it Jump Harder, where I was playing like old platformer games and see how they held up or whatever. But I considered extending that to all games and playing older games and reviewing them and seeing how they hold up today, because new games are so fucking expensive. My Patreon for my reviews is like sitting at like $240. And by the time I pay Mark the pittance that I pay him to fucking edit the video, and then I buy the games for that month, I'm making like negative money on this fucking Patreon.
Honestly, it's not even worth your damn time. You're better off reviewing old. You're better off coming to my house when you're over here for the podcast.
Just taking shit off the shelf.
I'm just going to take this old school PS2 game, old school PS2 game. I'm going to grab an N64 game over here. Oh, you know what? You got some really good JRPGs for PS1, Jeff. Do you mind if I borrow this? I promise I won't scratch the discs. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do... Honestly, people will probably find that not only more interesting, entertaining, but it would cost you nothing. It was literally...
I considered doing a series where I tried to wipe out my entire Steam library.
No.
But I looked at some of the games in there and I went...
No, it's not even doable. It's not even worth. It's not going to happen. It's not even going to happen.
But yeah,
Retro
like that's...
reviews. There you go. Just fucking go old school and play like, you know what? Once a year, we're going to play a new release. I'm going to spend the $100.
Hard to get ROMs now, though. Like, even if I went and bought the games or had them from your place, but having the hardware to record that shit is expensive and a bitch. So, like, my old way to do it was I'd, like, get the game and then I'd just get a ROM and,
I own the
emulate
game,
it.
So just get the damn ROM and call it a day.
Oh, my God. Nintendo out here making my life difficult, shutting down all these friggin' websites and shit.
Anyway,
But yeah,
what's
so
next?
that's
Fuck Origin.
that's that's all we got for gaming news. I think this week. That's the show. So if you want to hit me up with a little movies and TV,
movies and TV and TV, movies and TV.
Well, let's get this right out of the way. Sad news of this week for movies is we lost Burt Reynolds today.
Yes, I saw that.
He passed away at 82 years old.
We had a little video play of all the Burt Reynolds bloopers and stuff.
Oh, really?
R.I.P. Burt, 82 years young, had a heart attack.
Yep.
Hollywood would do that to you.
It would do that to me at 22, let alone 82.
Yes.
So,
another thing here. I don't know if you didn't have it in the list, so I bring it up.
Yeah, sure.
The Witcher. Did you hear about this?
Frick, I forgot to add that. Yes, they casted
Henry
Cavill for that. Yeah.
Henry Cavill is going to be starring as, I don't know the dude's name because I don't follow the Witcher series, but he's going to play the main character. And
Geralt of Riviera Riviera, something like Geralt. It is Geralt. I just can't remember what it is.
Well, whatever it is, Henry Cavill's playing it, which isn't totally out of the norm because Henry Cavill did play in another sort of older, like a period piece type show. I forget what it was, and he looked great in that. And obviously, Henry Cavill has come a long way.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the newest Mission Impossible, it is the best Mission Impossible to date, and Henry Cavill is a big reason why the movie was awesome.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally and figuratively, he was
huge.
He is jacked. He's it's just a really, really good ass movie, and Henry Cavill crushed it. So here is what Netflix is doing in a nutshell with this show. It's 8 episodes.
Okay.
There's apparently supposed to be next to no filler. So there's not going to be a lot of this, like they're gonna keep the story moving. It actually doesn't happen during the video game, so it's not the video game lore. It's what happens before the video games from the books. So the books actually has nothing to do with the video games. So the video games is its whole other thing, I guess, apparently after the books. And we're going back to the source material. And on top of that, they are planning, there is a massive budget for this show. I don't know exactly what it is, but apparently the budget's huge. And Netflix has basically come out and said that this is going to be their Game of Thrones. This will be Netflix's Game of Thrones. Apparently, they're paying Henry Cavill an obscene amount of money to do multiple seasons. Rumor is they were trying to get a 6-season deal with him or something crazy. But the first season's 8 episodes long. And apparently it's going to be like, the budget's going to be huge. The writing is supposed to be like top notch. The quality, everybody that's around this, they're trying to make Game of Thrones for Netflix, but in this Witcher world.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, which I'm totally okay with.
I'm 100% okay with that.
So that's what I'm hearing so far from multiple sources. And I'm pretty excited. And they start filming, I do believe, in November.
Wow,
I think they're filming soon.
And Henry's also a fan of the source material. So
he's a huge fan.
So
yes.
he was already quoted in an interview as that he would absolutely take the role if it was given to him.
Yep.
And here we are.
He's read all the books and he's watched or played all the video games.
From a look perspective, I was hoping for them to lock down Mads Mikkelsen because he looks almost identical to Geralt from the game. It's kind of spooky. Mads Mikkelsen.
Who's that?
You'll know him as every bad guy with an eye problem.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't think he would be a good one. You know who looks like him? Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. Looks identical.
He kind of looks like him too, yeah.
You give him white hair, You give him the white hair and fucking put a, I don't know what this character has, but that dude, and that was supposed to be the rumor that he was going to be playing him.
That was also rumored.
This is what I heard. This is what I heard like a year ago. So
yeah.
I don't know what happened with that, but Jamie Lannister, man, he looks the fucking part. But there's a picture of Henry Cavill.
People have shopped it up a bit to make it look. He'll still look the part.
He'll do it, and he's big, man, and he's jacked and fucking. The real
question is, will Geralt have a mustache so that they can CG it out later?
No, he better not.
I
just wanted to throw that in.
It's Geralt of Rivia. I don't know why I said Riviera. It's like Mr. Miyagi said, it's like they're going down for the fucking casinos and shit. I don't like where my brain went on that one. But yeah, Geralt of Rivia. That's awesome. I did forget to put that in there. So thank you for remembering that.
Hey. Oh yeah, that's why I'm here.
That's great that they're starting filming so soon though, because it means that we might be seeing that, I guess, next year then sometime. The first season.
Very possible. Yeah, it's very possible.
That would be fire. I really do hope that they smash it, because video games have needed a good movie or show surrounding like a game's lore or just the canon forever. We haven't really got one. We've gotten some reasonable attempts, but we haven't had like
I think this is going to be the one. I think this is the source materials there. It's got that Game of Thronesy feel already, like just the type of the look of it. Like there's a lot that can be.
People are already looking forward to the amount of nudity that's going to be in this. It's going to be
a lot.
Game of Thrones turned up to 11. Mr. Miyagi just gifted 20 subs
that is
right
20
now.
Subs gifted to the podcast.
My God, ladies,
Sweet
welcome.
mother.
Welcome to the channel with one emoticon. and it's an appropriate one because it's usable pretty much every single week. But there you go, Mr. Miyagi being a legend.
Thank you, Mr. Miyagi. Damn.
So there's that. I wanted to note about the Burt Reynolds thing. I didn't know this. He was apparently set to appear in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh.
That was forthcoming. And there's some other, like another interesting fact that he mentioned, I guess, in his memoirs or something in 2015, is he talked about when people asked him all the time through his career why he didn't take more serious roles or just take a lot more roles. He ended up, and he said, unfortunately, for the longest time, I wanted to just have a good time. I didn't really want to take super serious roles and get super deep into it. I just wanted to have a good time. He wanted to do movies that he wanted to do, like, and have fun with it, kind of thing. And he said by the time that he mentally got to the point where he was like, you know what, I really want to show people that I have the ability to do all this stuff, he was past the point where people would take him on for those roles. And some of these roles that he passed up on are pretty major roles, for God's sake. Let's see here. There's a couple here. Reynolds says he's turned down many roles over the years, some that went on to win Oscars in their time, including One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's a pretty major one to pass up on. Terms of Endearment. Jack Nicholson won Oscars for both of those roles that Reynolds stepped away from. He also passed up on Richard Gere's role as Edward Lewis in Pretty Woman, Han Solo in Star Wars, and John McClane in Die Hard. There was some pretty high profile movies.
We don't know if he was actually offered the job, opposed to kind of being on a short list or auditioning for
exactly.
Audition. I highly doubt they're like, hey Bert, you want to play Han Solo, or hey Bert.
Well, obviously, but he's probably
he's probably a front runner.
Yeah, he's Burt Reynolds. He was a front runner
and asked to do it, and that's pretty.
I could see Burt Reynolds as Han Solo, even though obviously it's almost impossible to not see Harrison Ford as Han at this point in your life. But I could see Burt pulling that off. But yeah, so there was that. Another shocking development was me discovering that apparently there's a Captain Planet movie in the works. I don't know if I've seen this before and talked about it on the podcast, because apparently it's been floating around for a couple of years, but they're they are apparently going ahead with it. They don't have the director or anything chosen for it yet, but it was kind of dormant, and now they're back on it again. I'm just trying to envision a live action Captain Planet movie. I can't.
I don't want to envision it.
I can't see it in my head. I mean, I've got a soft spot for Captain Planet because I watched it a lot when I was a kid. But I mean, hot damn. I don't know if the world is ready for a Captain Planet movie. But they talked about a bit how, or they compared it to the Power Rangers reboot, where they seem to be going down like the darker, edgier. Take the '90s cartoon and make it edgy. So that's where that's at. Would you go see a Captain
I probably
Planet?
would go see it. I'm not asking for it in any way, shape, or form. But it is what it is.
I want to see who gets casted as Captain Planet. That's who I want to know.
I feel like that's going to be the next Green Lantern.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Stay away from it. Just stay the hell away.
Just who the hell would they ever cast for that? It'd be absolutely magical. Didn't one of the Glover brothers do that parody Captain Planet thing? Oh, not Donald Glover, I don't think. I don't know. I thought it was a Glover. Maybe I'm crazy. No, it's not a Glover. It's a guy that somebody else. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, Don Cheadle. Yeah, that I'm confusing as a Glover for some reason. Don Cheadle. He did a parody video as Captain Planet. It was pretty funny. But yeah, let's get Don Cheadle as Captain Planet in the live action film. And then the last thing that I have in here that was of any interest to me amongst a sea of just fuckery on Screen Rant this week is that Zombieland 2 is apparently going to get started. It's filming in January. So we're going to get some more Zombieland. I kind of liked the first Zombieland.
Yeah, it was good. I liked the first Zombieland a lot.
It was good.
Yeah.
As long as they find somehow to write Bill Murray back into the script for Zombieland 2 so that we can hear somebody say Bill fucking Murray, then I think the movie is worth watching. That's my only stipulation. Get Bill back in.
Bring him back.
Put Bill Murray in everything that you can, actually. Just anything. I don't care if he's an extra. Just a guy standing in the background.
I would prefer Bill Murray to be extras, honestly. I don't want
Dude,
like a full
are you not a Bill Murray fan? Are you anti-Bill?
No, I'm not anti-Bill, but I like him in moderation. Like I think he's like that dude. Remember this guy that used to be in all of Adam Sandler's movies? And
the guy that goes, "You can do it," like that guy.
Yeah, you can do it. Cut his fucking balls off.
Yeah, that's I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about. Too. Yeah.
And then he even had like a little bit of a movie career for a little while.
Well, he was a stand-up comedian, I think. Like and I want to say he was also was he ever Saturday Night Live cast member?
I don't know. He might have been. Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. So he's like my Rob Schneider. Like, he's a funny guy. I would not enjoy watching an entire movie of Rob Schneider. I would not either want to watch that. Yeah. But just little hints of them I like. Too much of it I'm no good. It's no thanks.
I like him. I mean, he's obviously Bill Murray is a funny guy. And he might be the candidate for a person who gives the least amount of fucks in the world. Scientifically speaking. But I having watched a couple of his more serious roles, I actually also really like his more dramatic roles. I think he does a good job whenever like Lost in Translation was a dope movie, for example. I think he does a good job with that. Moonrise, what is it? Moonrise Kingdom or whatever. He really likes working with Wes Anderson. Him and Wes Anderson just make all the films together. I feel like Wes Anderson has like 5 people he likes to work with, and he just does every movie with those 5 people. And Bill Murray is 4 of those 5 people.
It's like Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yeah,
that's
they do everything together. Just
and Quentin Tarantino and like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes,
it's the same. Everybody has those actors that they mesh with. Speaking of actors, one last thing because we don't have that much movie news, but Wesley Snipes
I saw him pop up randomly. It's like
some news
is
coming
he
out
trying
with
to
Wesley Snipes.
trying to be relevant?
Well, here's the thing. Marvel is rebooting and bringing back Blade.
No.
Not only is Wesley Snipes excited and has been campaigning for a couple of years for him to be able to reprise in this role.
Yeah, I've been seeing him talk about that for sure. Yeah.
They have also created not only a Netflix series but also a movie. And they're not 100% sure which one they're going to release yet. And apparently it is by far the best writing and direction for this character. And they're going to be putting Blade, potentially putting Blade in the MCU. So you're going to be getting Blade with the Avengers. He might become part of a new Avenger or when the next.
Can you imagine?
Apparently his shit is going to be coming out in the next phase of Marvel stuff, or at least it's deep into the works. The only issue that they're having right now is they can't just throw him in yet because vampires do not exist yet in the MCU. They're going to introduce vampires and that sort of level after they're done wrapping up this phase of Marvel right now with the whole Avengers and all this Infinity War shit.
It's the next phase.
So the next phase, there is a high probability that Blade will be coming, and on top of that, it has been rumored, and even Wesley Snipes has mentioned that it's a hardcore Blade. So we're talking Deadpool level Blade. So we're going rated R. We're going hardcore, crazy shit, and it's gonna be especially since with the success of Deadpool and Logan, these grittier.
I was gonna say, God bless Deadpool for managing to convince them to allow to do an R-rated movie, because it has opened the floodgates.
Yes,
for all of these characters. Desperately
Blade needs to be a hardcore rated R, crazy, vicious, blood-sucking movie. It's just got to be it. So that's what's going down. I'm gonna guarantee next year we're going to hear release dates for either a Netflix series that's either going to start off with getting sort of his story going, maybe an origin, or maybe not even an origin, maybe just getting that world building done, or they're going to skip the Netflix show and go right to a movie and see how well that does. But we don't know yet. Wesley Snipes doesn't know which one, but apparently both scripts are done, and it's really just waiting for Feige to wrap up this part of the MCU and then find a way to bring him into the future.
Wow. So do you think that Snipes gets one movie to pass the baton, or do you think that
no Snipes is going to be the guy?
Oh, is he really?
Oh yeah, he's young enough. He's still in shape. He even said, like, I'm in some of the best shape of my life. I'm ready. He's been wanting this for a long time, and it's 2018. CGI and special effects and all this other stuff, it allows these older actors to stay up and do what they do. You take a look at somebody like Robert Downey Jr. or
steroids are great, Jeff.
Steroids are great as well.
They're really good.
So,
Sly Stallone has been making some spectacular use of steroids. If you're 72 years old and you still have an 8-pack and you look like you could pick up a truck, it's not because you have superior genetics. I can tell you that much.
Steroids.
Hollywood
is filled with steroids.
Absolutely crammed, packed.
Yes.
With steroids.
Yes.
And Wesley Snipes will probably use some.
He's probably already using some.
He's probably already on some.
He's already on the juice.
Getting ready.
Yes.
Just drinking it like it's tea in the morning.
So yeah,
keep driving her into it. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, I was seeing him talk about wanting to reprise the role if it was, and talking it up like it was time for Blade to come back and whatnot. And maybe this time Wesley Snipes doesn't evade taxes. That would be a good life choice for him, so that he can retire without working at Burger King. That would be a great idea. But but that would be great. I think if there was ever a time for Blade to come back, this is definitely it. We're
Definitely
in
it.
the golden era of R-rated superhero movies, so
Yep.
why not? I'm going to be real with you. I didn't even know Blade was part of the Marvel universe until just
What?
recently. Until just
You didn't know?
recently, I thought it was like, see, because when it came out, well, first of all, I was really young when it came out, but when it came out, it was during the vampires were super popular thing. So in my mind, I just thought it was another vampire thing. Like there was like 1,000 vampire IPs at the time, and so I never knew that Blade was part of the Marvel universe.
It is a Marvel. Property.
Yeah,
and it will. You literally might see Deadpool, and I'm sure that's probably who's
Deadpool and Blade will be together.
That's probably what's going to be, right?
Yeah.
So it's likely going to be Deadpool and Blade teaming up, and just fucking shit up.
Black jokes and dirty humor come together at the same time.
Like, how fucking crazy would that movie be? Like a Blade and Deadpool. I mean, oh my God, dude.
It'd be pretty good.
They literally don't even need a title for it. They just got to call it Blade meets Deadpool, and I'm in. Like, you know, I'm Ryan Reynolds just doing Ryan Reynolds, and Wesley fucking Snipes.
They both use samurai swords,
Wesley
Jeff.
Fucking Snipes.
They both use samurai swords.
One
it's
has
destined.
fucking ninja stars and bites people as a fucking vampire. You know, like the other guys just can't be killed, and he's crazy, and he just doesn't give a fuck. And he's trolly as shit. Like, can you imagine the jokes?
Oh,
like just like the
so
action,
many low key racist jokes.
My God, dude!
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Be nuts. Be amazing.
It'd be amazing. Somebody
else
sign
me up for that.
Somebody just mentioned this as well. Stuka. He said he's down for an R-rated Spawn reboot. That would be pretty dope too.
Oh, Spawn?
Yeah, Spawn. If there was another one that could use that needs an R rating, it would be
Spawn.
It would definitely be Spawn for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's good, and good for Wesley, because I don't know what he's done since that whole oops, I evaded taxes shenanigans. But
whoops, I did not pay millions of dollars in taxes because
my bad. My bad. That's unfortunate. So hopefully that does come together for him. So there you go. Mr. Black, I'm assuming that's all we've got for that. So let's hit me up with a little tech support.
Tech support.
I like that both of the jingles were very similar today.
You
got uniformity. I like it. On brand. On brand. All right, this comes in first one. Mr. Chili. $10 lifetime, $10 current. So one of our newest members of the cult. Yes or no question. No detail required. It's nice and quick and snappy. If your current or old pet could talk, would it be able to totally blackmail you because it witnessed you doing something that was sneaky, embarrassing, or stupid?
No.
That's a no from me.
Yeah.
That's a no from me.
I honestly can't think of anything. Like, I won't even have sex with my pets in the same room.
No, it creeps me.
It's just weird.
It's weird.
Really awkward. Yeah. So
like it shouldn't be, but it ends up being awkward anyway. It's just weird.
It is. I remember vividly. Just now that you brought this up.
Okay.
When I was in high school, there was this girl that made a home masturbation video and gave it to one of her boyfriends or some dude or whatever.
I feel like I remember hearing this.
Probably.
Yeah.
And there was a banana in the video.
Now I 100%.
And it wasn't the banana that obviously this video got passed around like fucking 5-cent hooker in Las Vegas,
as you could imagine.
As you know, when teen boys get their hands on
teen girls get their hands on that shit, was spreading it around.
So the one thing that I remember from that video, besides the banana, because there was a banana, she was sitting at her computer and her cat was sitting on like her computer chair is here. Then there's a sofa like almost directly behind her computer chair, and there's a cat sitting there. And the cat, whenever the girl would make some noise, the cat would like get up and look, and then like sit back down. And then
so
like
awkward.
the more noise would be made, and the cat would just get up and look, and it was just like, yeah, it was brutal.
Awkward.
Anyway, that was a bad time for her. She ended up moving schools, and feel bad for her. But you know, that's that cat definitely. Well, actually, that cat wouldn't have kept any secrets because it was out there.
It was already out there. Can't blackmail what's already been put out there. Yeah.
So yeah, when you said that question, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I honest to God had forgotten that happened, and as soon as you said banana, triggered. Memory just instantaneously, all comes flooding back. Man, I was watching, just tangentially in a short before we move on to the next question. I was watching a show that Gabs was watching in bed last night when I got into bed, and it was like she doesn't care what language the show's in. She'll watch anything as long as it has subtitles. It doesn't matter. So she was watching something that was in like, I think it was in Spanish, and there were these little kids in there, and there was a girl who was probably about 12 and a couple of younger boys probably about 9, maybe 10. One of them was 9 or 10. The other one was probably like 6 or 7. And the girl has this idea. They're going to sneak out. This is like way back. This is like, I don't know, around the time of Christ era type shit, like that far back. And so the parents are throwing this big do because the dad had done something for the royal, for the royal family at the time, and they were hosting this little party. Girl says, "Let's sneak out of the house," to the two boys, and go see the boats that were coming into harbor for merchant ships. And they're like, "Nah," because that's how exciting life was. Let's go see the boats. It's like, and the kids' boys were like, "No, they'll find no." And she was like, "They're never gonna find out. They're having their big party. Nobody's gonna notice." You could basically like, "Are you guys little bitches, or you bitches? Or what?" And so the first guy, the little boy's like, "All right, fuck it, I'm going." So he starts, and then of course the younger boy's like, "Fine, I'll fuck." They go down. They end up getting caught. One of the worst things I've seen in the show, the boy only ends up in the water, laying down, like, you know when the water reaches shore and it's like maybe an inch and a half of water before the wave goes back out.
Yes.
They were laying in that, hiding from some people, some bad guys, for like, I don't know, 4 minutes. And apparently the youngest boy was there long enough that he caught some horrible fucking fifth world disease and just ends up dying. From like 4 minutes in the water. I was like, this is supposed to... He started coughing like he had a cold inside the first 45 seconds. I was like, what world is this supposed to be in? But anyway, the girl gets back and she immediately says it was the other boys, you know, she puts on the tears and does the whole thing. And I turned to Gabs, I was like, man, it just made me remember, kids are assholes.
Yes.
Kids are fucking assholes. Specifically when they hit like that, like 10 years and older, they start getting a personality.
Yes.
And then they just sheer assholery. And then you remember your story, and you're in high school or you're in junior high, and just like you should probably have an internal check that says, I should not pass this video around. But you fucking do it anyway.
Yes.
Like, kids are assholes.
Yes. Hey, I got some tit pics. Who wants to see?
Yes.
Yes, I want to see.
Yeah.
That's
kids,
the show.
Kids are assholes. Just the worst. Yes. Like, you think adults are bad? Just try and remember what life was like in school. Just kids are like, and if you can't remember about kids being assholes, that means you were the asshole.
You were the dick.
Like, either you don't remember it and you were the asshole, or you remember it and you realize how much the kids were a fucking asshole. Just absolutely awful. Let's see. This is another one from Mr. Chili. Double question. How would you react if your significant other told you that she is going to cut her hair ridiculously short? And how do you think they would react if you grew your hair out long, like, for me, apparently Shawn Michaels, and for Jeff, Michael Jackson? So how would you react if, I mean, Kayla's hair has already been pretty short to begin with. So I don't know, like
she's starting to grow it out now, but
she had not, it wasn't a bob, but it was like a long bob.
Close. It was close. Yeah. I don't care. I mean, I liked Kayla with short hair for a long time, but then I started missing Kayla with long hair. So it's just like sort of a flavor of the season, you know, like, if she sits with long hair long enough, then I'm like, you know, she gets a cut. I'm like, okay, I'm liking this. And then after a while, it's just like back and forth. So that wouldn't bug me any. If she cut it really, really short, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's not like she's going bald.
Yeah.
And for me, if I grew really long hair, I think Kayla would be fine with it.
I'm just seeing you with fucking.
Yeah, I mean, my hair's long right now.
I'm seeing you with like a Jerry curl right now.
Yeah, like my hair is. This is like about as long as my hair gets before I like want to cut
cream.
But if I were to let this grow for another 3 months, oh boy, this shit it gets real. Nappy. It gets like.
Then you start having to spend a whole bunch of money on product to keep it in check.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, no. I don't think my hair would look that terrible, super long. It's just the process of getting it super long is horrible.
Yeah,
and not very attractive.
In between is not a good time. The in between is always the worst.
It's a bad time.
It's always the worst. I can't even see Gabs with short hair. I think it would look terrible. I think it would look absolutely awful.
I can't picture her with short hair.
And it's not a slight to her. No. There are not that many women that can pull off short hair. There's really not. Like it's like the list of women that can pull off short hair is
you know what long. You know what I think the secret is to pulling off short hair,
other than having the face that fits it.
But I also think it's mainly a woman's demeanor and attitude. I think it's her personality that really makes or breaks short hair.
It's like I want to see the manager. I want to see your manager haircut.
Yeah, like, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like, they hold themselves differently.
They hold themselves differently. It's weird because I've seen girls that have short hair that it's not all that attractive,
but they rock it.
But then they rock it, and their personality is like, damn, okay, I'm feeling this chick. Like, you know, I'm liking what's going on here. And I really feel like it has a lot to do with I really think it has to do a lot about a girl's personality if they can rock a short hair or not. It just is. It's kind of like a bald dude. You know what I mean?
You gotta rock it.
You gotta rock. You cannot walk around as a bald dude fearing that people know you're bald, or like, you know, thinking that, oh shit, I'm bald and what are people thinking? If you're a bald dude and you're fucking rocking it like, motherfucker, I'm a bald motherfucker, then people are just like, this guy's cool as shit. He's a fucking bald-headed dude that's rocking it. You know, and you don't think anything of it, but you can tell when somebody's bald and it's awkward, and when they're just not comfortable being bald, and then it just doesn't work.
Then you have a problem, right? Like that's the downside of it. Yeah, that's for sure. It's a confidence thing. I think that's the key to it. Is if you're confident, you can do anything. Really, it's just the way to go. My cousin Ben, there was this one year where he grew his hair like Yammer Yager.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, straight up, looked like a hockey player.
And Ben's got a legit head of fucking hair on his head, just
mullet
crazy
and everything.
Thick. And then he went mullet because he grew it out. And then for the playoffs, he went straight mullet. And because Ben doesn't give a fuck about anything, he kind of pulled off a mullet. And there might be 4 people on the earth that could pull off a fucking mullet. Yama Yager is one of them. And for a while, old Gertie was putting on the fucking mullet. It was very real. But if I grew my hair out, it would look like absolute shit. Nobody wants to see me with long hair. I don't have the hair for it, especially now. My hair's thinned out quite a bit. Like, I don't have as thick a head of hair as I used to have. But like, I have baby hair on the side of my head, so like growing up my hair would look fucking awful.
It would look weird, bro.
It would look so terrible. Weird. Like, my hair already automatically slows down dramatically. Not much longer than this. Once like my hair gets about as long, like it will hit my eye, which is where it is now. From that point, it takes ages to go any further.
The older you get, the more you're looking like your old man. Like the older you get, the beard legitimately. The beard definitely
takes it a lot because we have the exact same beard.
The beard definitely takes it to that level. Like glasses, beard, fucking the hairdo. It's all like in 10 years, bro, I'm going to just call you Dan.
The only difference is if I was ever like my dad dad used to also have a relatively thick head of hair. We don't have identical hair in that regard. My hair is more like my grandfather's was, but I would just be full. Dad also doesn't give a fuck. Like, so despite the fact that he didn't have much going on up here, it kind of just worked for him anyway. But I couldn't do the bald up top, hair on the side thing. I couldn't do that. If I went that far, everything's gone. Everything's gone. It's fucking gone. I'm paying $90 a week for a straight razor shave at the fucking barbershop to keep
Straight
that shit in check. So yeah, no, but it's a bad time. Nobody wants to see me with long hair. I'm telling you that right now. There is a picture of me on my passport. That's the longest my hair ever was. And it was when I was growing it out for the first time after I had buzzed my hair for years. And it was just shit was all over the place. It was wavy and fucking like blown out and everything. It was just wild and it looked awful. So taking it further than that, I'd end up looking like Barry from the Bee Gees or some shit. It would be bad. The only difference is Barry pulled it off and I wouldn't be pulling it off. Barry's in a different universe to that for sure. So yeah, bad idea. And I can tell you right now, Gabs would 150% not be on board with me growing my hair out. Not even a chance. Let's see. What is these? Goose has some of the craziest fucking questions sometimes, dude. Holy crap. Felix. $10 current, $10 lifetime. So another newbie. Welcome, Felix. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Yeah.
Would you rather give up? Now, this is a bit weird because one of these two things is significantly more required for survival than the other. However, we'll assume that it's in the short term and not necessarily the long term. Would you rather give up food or give up sex?
Well, unfortunately, I'd have to give up sex to live.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if let's put it this way, if you're starving, just like you're having one of those days, sometimes you're hungry and you'll eat and it's good, but then you have those days where you wake up hungry and your whole day you're just starving, and everything you eat is 1,000 times better than it is on a normal day. Those are the days that you go and get like a burger somewhere and a beer, or you get a steak or a sushi because it tastes 1,000 times better. And you don't get that very often, so when it happens, it's amazing. On a day like that, do you pass up food for the whole day to have sex, or do you pass up sex so that you can cash in on that food?
150% pass up sex. I am getting food.
Me too, 100% of the time.
Every time. There's actually, if I'm that hungry, I'm eating. I don't listen. I'm not even in the mood for sex.
No.
I'm not trying to have sex. I'm not even trying. All I'm trying is thinking is sex and some food. That's what I want to do.
Yes.
Right. Unless there's sex with food, then if I'm eating and sexing at the same time, then I'll sex it.
Even that's a little like
even that's weird. No,
I'm not really fully enjoying either thing because there's a lot of manual dexterity going on.
Yes.
Trying to eat and have sex at the same time.
Food all the time.
Yeah,
food.
For sure. And on those days, is sushi your thing? That if you have one of those days and you're so hungry, is sushi your thing?
Sushi's my thing, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
On those days, I'm a burger. I have to do a burger.
I love me a burger, man.
I have to.
Dude, I'm getting hungry. I'm legitimately getting hungry. Like, I'm no joke. After this podcast, which is going to end soon, I might actually fry up a burger on the barbecue at 11 o'clock at night. Zero fucks given. Zero fucks given. Straight up. Postal Panda asked.
Yes, on Twitter. Yes, and
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. He said something about what is your go-to carnival food?
Yes, I think that was what I had like here. Here it is. My question, what is your favorite pub or festival food? So mine, he said, is a Swiss brat sausage with the bun and mustard. So just a brat with mustard, as many people would say is the only way to actually eat a hot dog or a sausage is with just straight mustard. But that's his. What So what is your
Okay.
go-to?
Okay. I'm gonna cheat and give 2. All right.
Oh, I do that all the time, so I can't hate. Go ahead.
I know you do. You cheat. So you give like
I give
5.
like 5, yeah.
All right. But I'm gonna go with 2. Number 1, and this will trump. Basically, this is the safest thing you can get, and just the most delicious thing you can get, in my opinion, is just straight up French fries. Just good deep fried French fries from the Carnival with the fries that are like crunchy, like almost overcooked a little bit, tons of ketchup, lots of salt and pepper, and you just can't fuck that up. And usually like Carnival fries, you get like a huge amount, like you get like the little almost cardboard or like fucking weird almost bowl cup.
It's but it's not regular cardboard. It's like recycled cardboard that's like paper mache.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it. But if I had to like not cheat and just go with the easy fries, I'm going with beaver tails. So those deep fried dough with the different toppings you can put on, like you can get like peanut butter and bananas or cinnamon apple.
Dude, I just want the straight up cinnamon with like the cream cheese icing.
Yes.
Done.
Yes. I'm an apple. I love the apples and cinnamon.
Apple's really good, yeah.
Because you get that crunch, and the apples aren't like, as long as the apples aren't overly cooked and there's that nice little crunch into it.
Still has a little bit, yeah.
Oh
yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Fuck.
That's a good choice. That second one's a good choice. It's a fire.
Yeah.
It's a fire choice. You've pretty much hit it for me. Like when I'm at those places, it's weird. I don't really get particularly hungry when I'm at those events. I don't know if it's just because I'm constantly doing something and my mind isn't on food all that often or what, but like French fries are almost exclusively the only thing that I buy when I'm there, or a dessert or a dessert like item, like a beaver tail.
Yeah. Oh, I would fucking destroy a beaver tail right now.
But I think I agree. It's not. I don't necessarily need a particular type. But when I'm out there, if you give me fries and a hot dog,
you're golden.
Or a sausage in a bun, like whatever. Like you give me, it doesn't really matter what it is. It could like that's. I'm good. And I think if I could choose forever, it was the Polish sausage that Costco used to give at their canteen until they started making their own all beef hot dogs, like I don't know, 15 years ago or something. Now they had the Polish sausage that was like legit a pound. It was huge, and it was the best sausage I think I ever had in my life. I don't even know what company made it. I think that company went under, and that's why they started making their own Kirkland like all beef hot dogs that they sell there. But yeah, that's absolutely what I would go for. Oh, are we showing the non-Canadians what a beaver tail is?
Somebody asked what it looked like, so there it is. I just posted it.
It's basically like a deep fried sweetbread that ends up looking kind of like a beaver tail, and then you can just load it up
with whatever toppings you want. Like you can put like fucking M&Ms on there. You can put peanut butter. You can do literally whatever you want.
The classic is the cinnamon sugar, basically, kind of deal, but they evolved to the point where it was just kind of like a
you can get crushed Oreos on there. You can get whatever the fuck you want. So, but yeah, just like even just the basic, the cinnamon, whatever.
The dough is so good, dude.
Oh, the dough is good. It's just deep fried fucking dough. It just tastes so damn good, man. It's so good. Bad for you, but it's just like, oh, it's so good. Anyway, my mouth is actually watering.
Yeah, getting you going.
It's legitimately watering. Yo, and big shout out and thank you to everybody. We dropped on that Patreon, right? We were at like 29 something.
It
right?
happens.
And then boom, I refreshed like 6 hours later and we're back at 3127.
Let's go.
So shout outs to everybody that is still supporting this damn podcast and all the new guys and all the old ones that are still showing love. We're still cranking these out, and we're gonna have some big changes on it pretty soon. We're gonna start incorporating LAGTV with it, so you'll be able to not only support the podcast, but then you also get more of us together playing games or casting games on LAGTV. That's coming, and we got a shit ton of product to get rid of too. So we'll figure out ways to do some giveaways and fucking.
Yeah, that's gonna
we'll have to figure something out.
It's gonna be wild. I've got a couple more here that are relatively quick, and then we'll wrap it up so you can get some food.
Yeah.
This one comes in from Nick. 450 lifetime dollars.
Let's fucking go. Thank you, sir.
ASMR
No.
seems to be the new thing on Twitch. What do you think about it, and have you tried it?
Listen, I even went as far as ordering a microphone at one point. I was so salty on how much money these ASMR streamers and I'm not even. I've already talked about this. I've already talked about this on the podcast. I'm gonna
give
keep
the condensed version.
I'm gonna keep it extra small here.
Mm.
I think it is absolutely one of the worst things that I've ever laid my ears on ever. And that is without the boobs. Like if it wasn't sexually driven or anything like that, because the vast majority of the stuff on Twitch is pure. It is literally like a chick or chicks breathing heavy, stroking the side of the ear. I even watched one girl the other day. And yes, I occasionally tune in just to fucking throw up.
Sometimes you just need to lose weight, Jeff.
Opened up a bottle of water very slowly and slowly drank the water and then like put her throat up to the microphone and slowly started swallowing the water.
Oh God.
Like it's
that's creepy though.
It's creepy.
Like that's creepy.
But and she thinks it's sexy and it's not. But it is what it is. And it's just it's ASMR to me, even without all of that. So if you take away the sexually charged aspect of it and say if it was just a dude doing it or just a girl doing it and whatever, I find people whispering or talking softly is like hearing nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
It drives me fucking mental. It reminds me of people being close up in my face, and I don't like it when people are in my face.
It feels like they're invading your privacy.
It feels like they're invading my privacy, and I'm like back the fuck up. Like you don't need, and it just feels annoying. Like it because it's all forced. It's like listening to somebody act that's horrible at acting because it's not natural. It's them trying really hard to speak softly and they're going for hours, so they're trying to improvise ways to make it unique and change up the flow, and there's this whole and they're just bad at it. Maybe I'm just listening to really bad ASMR, but I don't think that there's anything ever. And I've went on YouTube and I've tried to like listen to, because when I ordered the microphone, I'm like, I'm actually gonna like try and figure out how you do this. And I just couldn't bear to listen to it for long because it invades my space. That's the best way to put it. Invades my space. I hate it. It feels like people are just whispering in my ear and it drives me nuts. So I hate it. I hate all of it.
I can totally get that because I get that experience sometimes. So my exposure to ASMR was long before it ever hit Twitch. Like it was picking up speed on YouTube. There were a couple of people that were doing ASMR, and the like you said, it's without the sexually charged bullshit. It's just ASMR as ASMR was supposed to be, which was using all of these different materials as a sensation. Because for a good portion of people, it's apparently a relaxing thing. So so that was my first exposure to it. And it doesn't get me that way. I'm neither here nor there. So I'm not in your shoes necessarily, where for the majority of the time anyway, the vast majority of the time, where I don't feel that the invasion of space feeling or the nails on the chalkboard type thing. But at the same time, I also don't get relaxed by it.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a fun parlor trick for those people that haven't really experienced stereo audio, I guess. In that, they're experiencing it, and it's funny because depending on how good your headset is, you're either getting a good experience with it or you're getting like this really awful, like limited experience of ASMR. But the concept is cool. I like that it exists in a sciencey kind of way because for some people it is relaxing. There are spas that are opening sections for people to go in and literally have it done like live in person type deal to them as a form of relaxation. But yeah, the Twitch stuff is horseshit. Almost exclusively. I'm not going to say 100% because I haven't sat down and watched every single person who's done ASMR on this website, but the majority of what I have seen has been basically just how far can we push the terms of service before we get banned?
It's just chicks. It's chicks making anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000 a year, fucking a
microphone,
literally fucking a microphone, without physically inserting the microphone in.
When
them.
you told me about I'm just envisioning this girl drinking this water and
I'm not, but I didn't make that up.
I know you did. I know you didn't make that up, but that's so. If I was seeing that's creepy as fuck to me. Like that feels so.
Yeah, but Adam, there's big fucking titties hanging in front of you, and like weird colored eye contact lenses to make your eyes look more Japanese or like fucking like wide anime type shit. The fucking Japanese anime. It's just fucking weird, man. It's weird, and it's not for me. And listen, if people enjoy it, hey. Enjoy it. Like, do your thing. But it's not for me. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate everything about it. And of course, the stuff that I've been introduced into it is the Twitch cesspool of it.
Yeah,
right?
of course. So you got the bad first.
It's automatically ruined. So if there is good ASMR out there, I'm not interested in finding it out. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, you've been ruined. Last one here that will squeak in. It comes in from Will, $100 lifetime. Thank you, Will. Will asks, what's your favorite holiday of the year?
I gotta go with Christmas. I'm up. I mean, I don't celebrate Easter. The only reason why I celebrate Christmas is because just about everybody celebrates Christmas. And it's not even, we don't even do anything crazy for Christmas here. Like we have a tree and there's maybe 7 presents underneath the tree between the two of us and a stocking. It's more for me. It's all about family. It's just being able to go eat dinner with all my family, laugh, say the same stories we say every year, do something nice for my parents. Just hang out and have family time. It's just, I love it. I can take time off work without feeling guilty. It's just good. It's just nice. It's nice and cool. Something about the cold that is almost comforting to there's just something about the whole season that is nice. Trust me, I don't like -20 weather, but usually during Christmas, it's we're right around the 0 or sometimes even in the plus, +5 or +7 or something, right? We get lucky. So it's like cold just enough. Nice, cool. It's cold enough. It's just nice, cold, hanging out, wearing ugly Christmas sweaters, going with family, and that's it, man. It's definitely Christmas. It's not even close. It's not even, there's not even a close second.
I'm the
apple cider. Oh.
I'm the same way. It's all Christmas all the time. It's for the same reasons. It's family time. It's when you get to go out of your way to spend as much time with family as humanly possible. And it is all the cheesy shit. It's telling the same stories you've told literally every fucking year of your life, and you've heard every year of your life, but you don't care because you only hear it once a year, and it's just okay that you hear it. It's the food, it's the music, it's the weather at the time, like you said as well. There's something. It's just, I couldn't imagine Christmas without cold weather. By the way, I don't know how people in like Australia,
LA,
or some shit are doing that. I couldn't it wouldn't feel the same.
Yeah.
To me, like it needs to be cold, and ideally there's snow. Like, it doesn't have to be 15 feet of it, but
Well,
ideally there's
I
snow.
remember one year I went down south, and it was just before Christmas. So I think it was like in December. It was like the second week of December, or I was coming home the second week of December, and they were getting all of the Christmas stuff set up at the resorts. This was like Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And they started getting like, weird Dominican, like they would take palm trees and they would like dress it up as a Christmas tree. So they
Oh
put
my
like
God.
fucking bulbs and shit because they don't have like regular Christmas trees.
Of course
right?
they don't have a pine
and then
tree.
like all the tourists are like American or from the UK, and so most people celebrate Christmas. And so when you're down there, some people want to have Christmas, like have a hot Christmas, so they go there and they whatever. And I'm there, and I couldn't wait to get home because I just couldn't. It just didn't feel. It felt like they were throwing a Christmas party in the summer, or like a Christmas themed party in the summer. It didn't feel like Christmas. It didn't even feel like December. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like Santa was coming anytime soon. It was like it just didn't feel like Christmas. It was stupid. It was just stupid. And then I get home, and as soon as I get off the plane, like the cold hits you, and then you listen to, you turn on the radio, and they're like, coming to Walmart for the ho 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 specials, and
just everything,
blah, blah, blah. And it just turns it right into Christmas.
Yeah,
you're just
you
like,
get
okay,
it.
It's that time of year.
It just, people just tend to, drop the bullshit for at least a week. And it's exceedingly difficult to be salty throughout the entire holiday season. Some people are. I get that. Retail workers want to hang themselves by the time it's all said and done. We all understand that plight. That's terrible. But in general, it's just, that's it. And it's the family time, and it's the music and everything.
Boxing Day, and then you've got you got specials that you can get deals on, and the fucking malls are crazy, and there's big like Black Friday sales or Boxing Day sales on the internet, and it's just like okay, Christmas really sucks if you're in a bad headspace. Like it
magnifies it if you're in a shit place. Yeah.
If you're just getting through a breakup, or your family, you lost somebody important in your life recently, and it's the first time without them. Those sort of things are rough. When my grandmother passed away and we had our first Christmas, it was weird. It was rough. Mm-hmm. It was like, we still enjoyed it. And we made it Christmas, but it wasn't the same. But when you're not going through any bad hardships, and a lot of times when you're going through shit and Christmas hits, it can make it a little bit better. It's like, it kind of like revives your spirit. And then also at the same time, you're right around the corner from a new year. So like you've got all these New Year resolutions, and you're like, you know what, this year I'm going to do something different. And it's like, you almost get a reboot on life. Like you get to like let go of the bullshit for a while, and take your head out of work for a minute, and just enjoy what really matters in life. And that's your family, and just sharing with people that you like. And it was different when you were 15 years old and all you cared about was getting the newest video game or getting presents under the tree. But as you get older, you start to realize, life goes on, and these times that you have with your family, they're just ticking away. They're just ticking away, and you got to enjoy it while you can. And when you have that perspective, there's no other, in my opinion, if you believe in Christmas or you celebrate that time of year, there's just nothing like it. Because it's just good memories. It's just good times. It just is.
It's for us anyway, it's the holiday that gets the family together. So odds are, for a lot of people, if they enjoy family time, whatever holiday happens to be the one that gets the family together is probably going to be the favorite holiday, right? So that's 100%. Christmas for sure. And I don't give a shit about really presents anymore. I just don't care. I didn't even really care all that much when I was a kid. There was, when I was, 10 years old and younger, obviously I was a little bit more wired up about it. But after a while, all I gave a shit about was all the family activities that happened during Christmas. And that was it. I just didn't.
Hanging out with all my cousins and just fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just fun.
That's pretty much it. So there you have it. quickest answer in the world because it's Mr. Miyagi. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't ask it.
All right.
Because Mr. Miyagi is
a god, and he's gifted like 50 subs today.
Yeah. If you had to lose a body part, would you rather lose your hands or your balls?
Oh.
Balls all day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And I've got a kid on the way already, so I don't have to worry about that. So
even if I wasn't in that situation, can you imagine going through life without these? Like you're gonna be having you're firing blanks.
Yeah.
But like sex is a huge part of your life, but your hands.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I mean, listen, I would give up one of my hands for my balls, but both my hands I can't do. And I'd only give up the one if I didn't already have a kid. So like, to be able to have offspring means of my own offspring. But now that I already have a baby on the way, I'm not even giving you one. You take my nuts. And that way she ain't getting pregnant.
Doing me a favor.
Right? Yeah, just
doing me a favor.
Put me to sleep while you do it. Like, I don't want to like fucking have my nuts chopped off or and go through some agony or some shit.
Exactly.
But like, if I, you got to put me under and remove my testes, and I had to choose.
Don't care. I mean, don't chop them. Like, take them out, replace them. Take them out.
Put something else in there,
so that at least it's not just skin hanging.
Hey, listen, if you don't want to put any like marbles or some fucking shit in there, then just take the skin with it, right? And just fucking
get rid of all of it.
So it's just my cock.
Yeah, just
my cock. Can you imagine how weird that would look? Just dick. Just no balls, no fucking.
Let's be real. We've all seen some porn where the dude's doing way too much fucking like roids, and he's got
and he's got like nothing. It's almost
no
like
balls.
He got this little tiny like fucking thing that's like it's half inside his body. It's just like poking out a little
weird bit. Shit. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. No, I want my hands. I mean, I gotta play games. I gotta fucking masturbate. Listen, it'd be fucking terrible. You got your cock and balls, but you can't even stroke your own dick. Like you can't fucking play with your balls. Like what you got? Prosthetic hands to fucking play with your nuts and your
nothing.
Cock? Like you can't do that shit, and you're not gonna ask your wife to give you a hand job. It's horrible. You gotta fucking do it yourself, right? And I don't give a fuck how good you are. You're not getting the proper stroking technique with prosthetic hands.
No.
It's just not happening. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who's making that shit. It's not happening.
Like Chubbs from fucking Happy Gilmore. You get that wood-ass hand.
Nah.
Glued fingers trying to fucking get yourself going. No, bro.
No, it's not happening.
No.
There's not a chance.
The dream is dead.
I'm keeping my hands.
God, can you imagine?
Now, if it was a question of your cock or your hands, now we've got some.
Now shit's changing up.
Thinking to do.
Yeah, that's a little different story.
That's a big different story.
Do you want to be a eunuch?
That's a big different story.
Actually, did eunuchs lose everything or just the balls? I can't remember.
I think they lost everything. I think the shit was just severed. Gone.
I think it was just the balls.
Was it?
It'd be awfully hard to take a piss without your dick unless they're like really doing some weird shit. But that would be if you're talking the dick or the hands, that's a tough. I'm not even speaking those words because I don't even want to have to think about choosing. That's a tough one. That's a damn tough. That is a tough. Like if I was like 60 plus years old, take my dick.
Take my dick. I've already had my fun.
Yeah.
The shit's probably just doesn't even want to work anymore. But man, we'll have to save that question for another week. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
That's a tough one. You let us know in the comment section of this YouTube video. If you had to choose your cock or your hands, which one's going? Which is going?
Bro,
Damn, man, that's so tough.
My brain is telling me hands, but my heart's going, wait up, bro. Wait up, bro.
I mean, you can do a lot with nubs, but you can't do nothing with no penis. There's plenty of people out there that don't have hands or arms
Yeah.
that are living good their best life.
True.
You know, you ask a dude without a dick
True.
how he's living, he's likely already given up on life. You know, it's probably not a good time. I'm just going to say that. Even if you didn't plan to have sex ever again, to just not have a dick would just do something to a man that you just probably can't get over. You know, I feel as though if you chose your hands over your dick, the moment that your dick was gone, you'd have instant regret. You'd be cussing out your hands every chance you get.
Can you imagine?
Every time you fucking stubbed your hand or hit it on something, you're like, fuck, I should have got rid of you.
You imagine the phantom pain of losing your dick?
No. I can honestly say I probably wouldn't be alive too much longer. I can't even imagine my life without my dick.
That's a bad time.
And you know what? Even if you've got a micro penis, even if your dick is no more than 3.5 inches, and you're just afraid to show your dick to anybody,
dude. First of all, let's be real. 3.5 inches is not a micro dick. Let's be real. Micro dick is a totally different neighborhood from oops, you got fucked by genetics. That's
okay. Well, okay, you got a 3.5 penis, okay, and you have and you still got to choose. You're keeping your 3.5 inches.
Oh, sure.
And you're rocking that motherfucker like
sure.
you're happier than a pig in shit. Nope. That's it. It's nope. It's a whole lot of nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Technical Alpha Podcast this week. What a way to end the show on that one.
I'm going to cook burgers.
Burgers or balls?
Burgers.
Tough question when you're hungry. Let me just pull up our beautiful, beautiful patron. Wait, did our Patreon... Wait, what? Hold on now. No, all right. Never mind. I thought I was tripping balls for a second. No pun. Hey, Jetrix. Just want to remind you that you're a god. Same to you, Postal Panda, and many other people. Like Matt M., Chico, Toad of Steel, Jamaican Jazz, Adam B., Derek P., Hockey Psycho, who was a fresh pickup.
That's a new one.
Martin, Soft Shoe, Sam R., another relatively fresh pickup. Game Cock Toss, and many others. Mr. Miyagi, and the list just goes and goes. Bless each and every one of you and all of our Patreons for keeping this dream alive. That's going to be it for this week of the Technical Alpha Podcast. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
Same time, same place. Until we get that equipment, then it's going to be slightly different. But until then,
same place for me.
Yeah, that's true. Same place. You're not moving. But we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.